Okay, hello. I want to do a little video here of this classical guitar that I have here that I got in 1979. So I've had this for 45 years. It's a Yamaha model G-55A guitar, and it's made in Taiwan. On the inside it says, you know, made in Taiwan, Republic of China. And if you think about it, it was probably kind of partially or mostly handmade, even though it's made by Yamaha. I'm not sure when automated robotic equipment and the CNC tooling, you know, was put into practice. And I think that the PV was the first company that started using that for the production of guitars. Prior to that, I think guitars were mostly handmade. They had jigs and fixtures to help with the production, but they were still like a lot of hand tooling and carving of the wood. So so I like to think of this as somewhat of a handmade classical guitar. And it's one thing interesting about classical guitars is the strings. When you change the strings, they really stretch a lot, and you got to tune them up over a period of several days. It seems like they you put fresh strings on, you tune them up, and then over time they all kind of drop in pitch, and then you got to tune them up again, and you repeat that process, and they eventually stabilize and stretch out. And but it's kind of funny. It's unlike like a bass guitar or electric or anything with steel strings. Those kind of instruments, you can put a fresh set of strings on and maybe tug the strings a couple times and stretch them out, and you can use them, you know, for like a gig or whatever that same day or same night. Classical, you probably wouldn't want to do that, because you would be fighting with the guitar the whole night, you know, retuning it and adjusting it. So but anyways, the thing about playing classical guitar, mostly when I play, is I use my fingers, and I try to keep a little bit of fingernail on the tips of these fingers, which is kind of funny because I play bass, and with bass I typically don't want any fingernail at all, because that gives you like a clicking sound. So I'm trying to find a happy medium between like nail length to allow bass playing as well as classical guitar playing. And I think there's some aspects of playing bass that I probably apply to classical and vice versa. So so anyways, this guitar, I'll just play something real short. So that's a little Beatles tune that I wanted to do an arrangement of. I came across a book one time and I thought it was really cool. There was all kinds of Beatles songs arranged for a classical guitar, and ever since I learned one or two of those songs, I thought it'd be fun to eventually arrange more songs like that. So another thing I want to mention about this guitar is I think there appears to be like a glue joint or seam or something right here. I would think that classical guitars are made somewhat like acoustic guitars. They don't have a truss rod in them, so there's no you know, truss rod here nor on the inside. The strings, the nylon strings, put a whole lot less tension on the neck, so you don't really need a truss rod on a classical guitar. The wood is strong enough to handle the stress of the strings. On a steel string guitar, you definitely need a truss rod to, you know, offset all the tension of the strings. And I forget what the number is, but there's a pretty huge amount of stress that steel strings put on a guitar when they're tuned up to pitch. So classical strings are kind of, you know, a lot softer. The top three are nylon. The middle ones have they have a core of like silk. You can sort of see it on this one string here, and then they wrap the inner core with it's bronze or some type of composite, you know, metal. So, but the strings are always a lot, you know, classical strings are a lot easier on your fingers. You don't typically have to, you know, build up a lot of calluses to play them. And the other thing about a classical guitar that I really like is the neck is really wide here at the end, and so your fingers kind of have a lot more space. If you have really big hands, it's even better. I think my hands are kind of average size or whatever. So, but I've always thought it was just just, you know, a lot more comfortable to play with a wider neck here. So it'd be interesting to see if I'm sure there's got to be some guitar manufacturers out there that are making acoustics and electric guitars with wider necks. I don't know if anybody makes them as wide as a classical guitar, but it'd be interesting to find something like that and try it out and see how it feels. So anyways, this guitar, like my Epiphone acoustic, I think it's improved with sound over the years. Lately I've been trying to play this pretty much every day, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes or so. But this guitar has been played a lot, and so the wood, I think, probably has a seasoned or like improved over the years. Which reminds me, there's some product out there, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but there's a product you can buy. They put on your guitar and basically vibrates the wood, and it you know, supposedly causes the guitar to open up, you know, a lot sooner. It exercises the wood as if the guitar was being played, and I think it's called the Tone Right. I'll have to look it up though, but I think that might be what it is. So I've never used one of those, but anyways, this guitar basically just been played a lot over the years and just has a really nice sound. One thing I wanted to also mention about classical guitar, I always thought that the low strings had a really great, you know, full rich tone if you play it like an electric rhythm guitar and use your fingernail. And I'm using the tip of my finger. If you use a pick, it's even more pronounced. So it'd be fun. I thought it'd be fun to do a recording sometime where it's like a, you know, driving rock song or something where the rhythm guitar is actually a mic'd classical guitar being played with either your fingernails or a pick. Just because I think it has a really kind of cool tone to it. So that might be a fun experiment to try. So, but that is pretty much all the ins and outs of this guitar. You know, very lightweight, but just a nice guitar that I've had for a long time, and still enjoy playing it. And just goes to show you don't have to have a really expensive guitar to enjoy it and to get a lot of usage out of it. So thanks for watching. Bye.